I'd like to speak about this whole Royal Opera House rape scene thing from Guillaume Tell, recently getting a lot of attention from the media, a lot of press coverage, and as well as people crying out in outrage about the rape scene, how gratuitous it is, all the while praising the actress, talking about the actress, putting beautiful pictures of the actress in the Evening Standard, putting a lot of reviews about it, doing a story every day about it for like 3 or 4 days now. And I can't believe the hypocrisy behind the whole matter, because I mean, to me, it just reminds me of the Clinton Lewinsky affair, people talking about outrage and at the same time covering it and being attracted to this sordid matter and this outlandish thing, just attracting viewers, attracting attention, attracting more opera goers, and it's as if, you know, they're taking in more money than anybody who's done a splendid production, a brilliant production in decades. The whole thing is attracting more money and more opera viewers. More people are turning to opera than ever because of this crap. And I can't understand why opera, as an art form, has to turn to the likes of the sexual provocation, just as rap and any pop music does these days. I mean, we're talking about now, they're using rape and trying to justify it, saying it's part of war realities. Okay, why don't you show us like the details of a wound while you're at it? Why don't you show us some kind of horrible starvation and putrefaction, and why don't you show us people tumbling down and rats crawling all over them? You could have all kind of provocation, but you tried to use something that will really attract people, and that's sexual provocation and sexual violence. And yes, I think it's kind of gratuitous, and yes, I think that it's quite degrading. And once again, people are using women, not this time having oil and champagne poured all over them on a yacht, like most of these rap artists, and whining their pelvis, but being molested by a bunch of blokes during the war. It's not even mentioned in the opera. It's just something that the designer and the director decided to put together. And it's magnificent. It's worked. People are flocking like a bunch of sheep to see that outrageous scene. People who've never been to an opera before will now go to the opera. And all I'm thinking is, look, it's going to be worse in the future. People are going to get Rihanna and Rita Ora and all these jackass pop artists going around twerking next. Because it's not going to stop there. It worked, guys. It worked. People came to see opera. People who've never been to an opera. Let's do more sexual provocation. Somebody tell me it's going to stop there. I want to hear this. I want to hear somebody tell me that it's going to stop now. It worked fantastically. Every opera company now is going to try. It's going to try some kind of orgy scene. The commercialization via female sexualization, via the use of female bodies and female sexuality to promote the opera. It's been done for every art form. Why not opera? And this is what really frightens me. I don't know. I feel this is the beginning of something there, and I can't believe the wall of hypocrisy around the whole thing is just an aberration. You know, every day you got a story about this and the actress behind it, and she's done this and she's done. It's like they're praising the whole thing whilst talking about people's reactions. And now they're saying they toned it down. And so, well, okay, then it's still outrageous, still violent, but let's go and see it. And who wouldn't want to check that out? Everybody's talking about it. And some weirdos are gonna love this stuff. You know, I mean, live rape scene. It's supposed to be very short, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it since I haven't actually seen it. But just the descriptions, and I can't. I don't know. I mean, I did see a few years back, quite a few, maybe 12, 15 years ago, I saw a scene, the English National Opera, and that was very controversial at the time too. It was from the rape of Lucretia, and it was basically a nude woman in the middle of the stage, and obviously there was sexual, but it wasn't actually that violent at all. It was just a nude woman. That made some kind of headline, but again, you got an opera called The Rape of Lucretia. So that's a bit of a different context. But, Guillaume Tell, for God's sake. But anyway, they did what they had to do. But the violence is like 100 times bigger in that scene. I don't know. Am I the only one thinking like that? That it's a bit of a sort of God, I don't know how to call it. All I can see is the cheapening of the whole thing. I don't know. So anyway, those are my thoughts. But I'm really angry that there's such a benefiting out of this. There's such profit, and people being hypocritical, and just everybody's cashing in. The actress, the opera house, and some opera houses are going to follow in. It annoys me. It just really pisses me off. Anyway, quick thoughts. But do still keep going to the opera. I hope it's not that bad throughout the year. Incidentally, Guillaume Tell is quite beautiful piece. And anyway, it's a long story. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed by the opera house in this one.